The opposition is calling for government agencies to blacklist more than 3,000 Chinese-made drones over renewed security concerns. A cybersecurity audit uncovered the CSIRO and Australia's defence agencies have more than 2,400 drones operating, manufactured by a company DJI. It's linked to the People's Liberation Army in China and has been blacklisted by US government organisations. Shadow Home Affairs and Cybersecurity Minister James Patterson says the Australian government departments could already be compromised.
No one is keeping track of these devices at all, and that's obviously not a very good approach to take to the cybersecurity of this nation. What we need is a much more proactive approach that gets ahead of these risks and anticipates them, assesses them and mitigates them where necessary, rather than a reactive approach that waits until an opposition senator lodges questions or notice before action is taken.
Joining me for more on this is Katherine Mansted, Director of Cyber Intelligence at CyberCX and a Senior Fellow in Practice of National Security at ANU. Thanks for your time. Is it as simple as get rid of them all, they're all a risk?
Look, I know nothing is ever as simple as that, Tom, and I think actually what we're seeing here is this isn't the first time we've had the government and or the opposition have concerns about particular bits of hardware or kit that is being used by our government. So this week it's drones, and last month the Department of Defence already made the decision to ground a number of DJI drones. But earlier in the year it was surveillance cameras, TikTok, and before that, even 5 years ago, we were talking about the baseline infrastructure in our 5G rollout. So this has been where we've been on this concern, legitimate concern about security for technology that has high-risk foreign vendors for some time. Does feel like we are playing whack-a-mole sometimes, though. It's a different technology every other week. It'll be interesting to see where the government takes this in terms of perhaps a more holistic framework in time.
That's what I mean. And while it might not be that simple, is it just best to take an all approach, really restrict what countries that type of tech comes to? You've got to be an approved country, and then you don't have whack-a-mole.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways, and we're seeing more from the government on this. We're seeing them identify what certain high-risk technologies might be. Surveillance cameras, for example, earlier in the year, that's something that is of particular concern because of the volume of data that they might collect and also their position within a network. Other countries have taken different approaches. So the UK last month stood up an office to be a bit more proactive about screening technologies before they're put into government systems. And I think that just reflects, unfortunately, the brave new world we're in now, where digital risks are greater, where countries are using their digital positions of advantage to coerce or to influence or interfere in democracies. We're seeing that more and more. So I think we'll see Australia having to make some more choices around how it anticipates risk and what it does once it identifies risks in the technologies we're using.